So this is kind of an interesting problem because there are a couple of ways that you can do this. So we'll talk about the two ways you can do it first, and then I'm going to do the one that's easier because I think that makes a lot of sense. So this says, what is the total area of the figure shown? And I've got this weird, like maybe it's a track somewhere, except really small. I've got this weird shape that is a rectangle in the middle. So I know I'm finding the area of a rectangle. And then it has two semicircles on the end. So the first way that you can do this is you can find the area of a semicircle and the area of another semicircle, and you can add all of these together and get your answer. What I want to do, because it's going to be easier, is I want to find area of the rectangle, and then I want to look and use my brain here for a second. If I've got a semicircle and I've got a semicircle, what happens when I put those two shapes together? It makes a whole circle. So I'm not going to find the area of a semicircle at all. I am just going to find the area of an entire circle. Because to me, that seems like it's going to be a lot easier. So let's do rectangle first. Check with your formula sheet. The formula is length times width. And it's super easy. They tell me the length and width. They say, hey, the length is 6, the width is 4. Remember, it doesn't really matter which way you do those two. If you said the length was 4 and the width was 6, it would still totally work. So you get 24 for that. And then I'm going to check back with my formula sheet. And we're going to look up area of a circle. And my formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. So the only piece of information I need to give the calculator for this one is I need to give it the radius. But the radius isn't given in this problem. I have to actually think a little bit. Okay, so it tells me that all the way across the circle is 4 meters. I am interested in halfway across the circle. So what I'm gonna do to figure out my radius is I'm gonna take my diameter, 4, and I'm gonna divide it by 2. Okay, so my radius is actually 2, and that's what I'm plugging into the formula. If you would rather, if this gets too confusing in the calculator, you can figure out the 4 divided by 2 down here on a separate line, and you can just plug in 2 up here. But either way, it really doesn't matter because the answer is 12 point, let's round it to the 10th place, 12.6, okay? And then when I add those two areas together, I get 36.6, and my units are square meters.